Hello, let's continue our Sudoku adventure with Thumbnail by Palfly Kampling. So we have normal 6x6 Sudoku rules, meaning in every row, every column, and every 2x3 box, we are placing the digits 1 to 6 exactly once each. We also have thermometers in the grid, so there's a shaded circle, what we call the bulb, and then we have the line coming out of it, the thick line coming out. So thermometers just have to increase as you move along them, starting with the bulb. So if this was a 2, this has to be bigger than 2, could be 3, could be 4. This has to be bigger than 4, this has to be bigger than 5, right? So they just get bigger as you go. What I can't do is go like 2, 4, 5, and then 5 again, because 5 is not bigger than 5. We also certainly can't go lower. That would be not allowed either. So you just have to keep getting bigger, but you don't have to be getting bigger by the same amount each time, right? 1, 3, 5, 6 would be fine. All right, in addition to that, we do have these red arrows in the grid. So we have the digit and the arrow and all of the digits it points at. So the digit and the arrow, let's say this was a 4, then these 3 cells that it points at have to be smaller than 4. 4 has to be bigger than all of the cells it points at. So I could go, say, 1, 2, 1 if I wanted to, or I could go 1, 2, 3, or I could go 3, 2, 3. But what I can't do is include a 4, because then 4 is not bigger than all of it points at. Certainly can't put 5 or 6. And that's it. Those are the rules. There's a link in the description if you'd like to try the puzzle yourself, and I'm going to get started right now. Okay, so I'm seeing this. This is the longest thermo there. I always want to focus on that first. Right, this is interesting. So we have all 3 of these arrows all pointing at this thermo end. So if you think about it, this has to be bigger. All 3 of them have to be bigger than this cell here. So if you wanted to think about it, we could, like if I could draw the thermo continuing to these arrows. So we actually kind of have a 3-way branch thermo at the end of here, connecting to all 3 of these. So if we think about it, this could be a 5-6 pair. They could all be from 5-6 at the largest, right? We can't put 6 on all of them. So at least one of them would be a 5, like this one here, or we'd have both of these 5 with this a 6. But either way, that means that this is going to have to be smaller than 5. You can see that means we have to go 4, 3, 2, 1. So we just immediately get 4, 3, 2, and 1, and I really don't need these lines anymore. I just wanted to do that to demonstrate. So now this 4 looks in here, placing the 4, and we get another 5-6 pair here. So this is a 2-3 pair, and this is 1-5-6. Well, we can't put 1 at the end of a thermo. This is pretty open though. Okay, so what else is happening here? Well, this 5-6 is actually pointing at this thermo as well. So just by the arrow, if we ignore the thermo for a second, just by this arrow, we can't exceed 5, right? So it's kind of like this thermo continues right here. So this is maximum 5. So we could go 5, 4, but then this can't be a 3. So this is maximum 2. So this is 1 or 2. Then from there, this can't be a 2. So this would be 3 or 4. And then this has to be bigger than at least 3, but it has to be smaller than 6. So actually this ends up a 5 because it can't be 4. Sees a 4 in the column. It has to be bigger than at least a 3. Yeah, so this is a 5. And then that comes back up here, making this a 6, a 5, and a 6, and a 5. And so now this doesn't resolve, though. This is fine how it is. That does mean there's a 5 in here somewhere. Okay, that's interesting. So this is never a 5, right? If this was 5, we'd go 5, 6, and then what, right? So the 5 is in one of these 2 cells. Now, I'm going to argue that whichever is the 5, this cannot be 5, right? If this is a 5, that's very straightforward. That means this can't be. Like if this is a 5, that's just by Sudoku, this ends up a 6. If this is a 5, this has to be bigger than it. And that still puts a 6 there. So that ends up a 6 no matter what. Oh, this is nice. This 5 points at this cell here, so it can't be a 5. So that's 1 and 5. Oh, and this can't be a 5 for the simple reason that it's, again, pointed at by a 5. So this ends up being the 5. And this just has to be smaller than 5, which is fine. That means 6 is placed in this box here, because we have these 2 6s. And we can't put a 6 in this bulb. So now this bulb will just resolve itself no matter what we put in there by Sudoku. This is a 1, 2, 3 triple, though. So I want to point out here that this then has to go 3, 2, 1. Can't put 1 or 2 at the end. So this is 3, 2, 1. And then that makes that a 2. This is 3 and 2. We get our 1 here. And I think it's just Sudoku from here. Here we need a 4 and a 5. This can't be 5, so that's 4 and 5. Here, this column finishes with a 4. Down here, we need a 1 and 3. So that's 3 and 1. That's a 4. Here we need 2 which goes down here, and we need a 4. Let's just fill this out. So here, this is a 6. Down here, we have a 3. Down here, we need 2 and 1. That's 2 and 1. And then up here, we need 3 and 6. That's 6 and 3. And we're done. And we end with a 3 in the corner. Dooting. All right. So cool puzzle, Palfly. I liked the idea of using these arrows to sort of be an extension to the thermos, right? The thermo has to increase, but then we have to keep increasing when we get to these arrows. And we had 3 arrows all pointing at this cell, forcing it to be a 4, which was neat. We really just needed 2 of them to do that. But this one also then ended up pointing at this thermo tip, which forced it to be a 5. Very neat. Enjoyed that a lot. Thanks, Palfly. Really nice use of those constraints. Hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.